Say goodbye. Say goodbye to the vegetables you thought were helping, but may actually be making your knees ache and your legs swell. If you're over 60 and you've been dealing with stiff joints, swollen ankles, or that heavy, tired feeling in your legs by the end of the day, this might be the most important thing you read today. While most seniors focus on adding nutrients like collagen to protect their joints, almost no one talks about what you might need to remove. Shocking as it sounds, some of the most common vegetables in the American diet may be silently working against your mobility. And you probably eat them every single week, maybe even every day. According to new research, certain vegetables can trigger inflammation, increase fluid retention, and even weaken the connective tissues that keep your knees, hips, and ankles strong. The result? You're doing everything right, eating healthy, but still feeling stiffer, slower, and more swollen than ever. In this guide, we'll reveal the 7 vegetables that may be secretly harming your joints, ranked from least to most harmful, and explain what to eat instead to feel lighter, looser, and stronger. Stay with us, because the worst one, it's in nearly every senior's pantry. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Tomatoes, especially cooked with skin. They grow in our gardens, sit proudly atop our salads, and simmer in our pasta sauces. Tomatoes are the symbol of freshness, but for many seniors, they may also be the hidden cause behind swollen knees, stiff ankles, and aching joints that worsen with age. Tomatoes belong to the nightshade family, which contains a naturally occurring compound called solanine. While harmless for many, solanine can become a silent irritant for aging joints, especially for those dealing with osteoarthritis or chronic inflammation. When consumed frequently, especially in cooked forms like sauces and stews, where the skins and seeds remain, this compound builds up in your system and may aggravate the soft tissues around your joints, causing subtle but steady damage over time. The result? That familiar morning stiffness, the pressure behind your knees when standing, or the swelling in your calves after a simple walk may not be from just getting older. It might be your favorite tomato soup working against you. The danger lies not just in joint irritation, but in the body's systemic inflammatory response. For seniors with reduced collagen and thinning cartilage, even a mild persistent irritant can set off a chain reaction. Tissues inflame, fluids build up, and the body struggles to repair itself. Over time, this leads to more than discomfort. It becomes a slow erosion of mobility, balance, and independence. Many older adults report sharper flare-ups after pasta nights or tomato-heavy meals. Some even describe a strange, tight feeling in their legs the morning after, a sign of inflammation that isn't always obvious, but deeply real. If you're noticing patterns in your joint pain, try removing cooked tomatoes from your diet for just 2 weeks. You might be shocked by how much lighter your legs feel. But tomatoes are just the beginning. One unsuspecting vegetable on our list has been linked to nerve overstimulation and fluid retention, especially in the knees. Ready to find out what it is? Keep watching. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Eggplant. Eggplant, with its glossy purple skin and hearty texture, often finds its way into senior-friendly dishes like casseroles and veggie bakes. It feels wholesome, nourishing, even comforting. But beneath its appealing surface, eggplant hides a potential danger for aging joints and legs, especially for those over 60 who already struggle with stiffness or swelling. Like tomatoes, eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, which contains the compound solanine, but eggplant has higher levels than many of its cousins. For a body that's becoming more sensitive with age, solanine can act as a subtle toxin, irritating the delicate tissues that surround joints. Over time, this irritation leads to inflammation that doesn't just stay in your knees, it can spread down through the ankles and even cause fluid retention in your lower legs. The real concern lies in how easily this damage can go unnoticed. Most seniors don't connect a slow building ache in their hips or the tightness around their calves with the eggplant parmesan they had 2 nights ago. But the link is there, and it's dangerous because it wears away at your joint health quietly. For individuals already battling thinning cartilage and reduced joint fluid, eggplant can be the spark that ignites a daily cycle of pain, swelling, and reduced mobility. Additionally, eggplant is naturally high in histamines, which, when combined with an aging immune system, can lead to an inflammatory response that mimics arthritis flare ups. That burning sensation in the knees, the hot puffiness in the feet, it may not be the weather. It could be what's on your plate. If your legs often feel tight or uncomfortable after meals and you can't quite figure out why, try removing eggplant from your diet for a month. Then listen to your body. But if you think eggplant is problematic, wait until you hear about the healthy green that's quietly blocking mineral absorption and maybe draining the very strength from your bones and knees. 3. Spinach in large amounts. Spinach has long carried a reputation as a superfood. It's in smoothies, on sandwiches, in salads. Seniors are often told it's the perfect leafy green, packed with iron, fiber, and antioxidants. But here's the truth: most don't hear. For aging joints and legs, too much spinach can quietly do more harm than good. The danger isn't obvious at first. Spinach is high in oxalates, natural compounds that bind to calcium inside the body. When consumed in excess, especially raw or in juiced form, these oxalates can build up and form sharp crystals in the joints and soft tissues, triggering pain that mimics arthritis. For people over 60 whose bones are already thinning and whose joints are more vulnerable, this can lead to a vicious cycle of inflammation, swelling, and joint erosion. Even worse, those oxalate calcium crystals don't always flush out. In some cases, they begin to collect in the knees, ankles, and even small joints in the feet, contributing to gout-like symptoms or persistent aches that doctors may misdiagnose. Seniors often describe a dull soreness in the knees that lingers for days, or a tight, inflamed feeling in the legs after healthy green smoothies. They blame aging, never suspecting the spinach. There's another layer to this. The oxalates in spinach also interfere with the absorption of essential minerals like magnesium and calcium, the very nutrients older adults need to maintain healthy bones, blood flow, and muscle function. So while you're eating spinach to strengthen your body, it could actually be stripping away your ability to stand, walk, or move without pain. You don't have to give up spinach entirely, but if it's become a daily habit, especially in raw or blended form, it may be time to cut back. Steam it gently, rotate in other greens, and most importantly, listen to your legs. But spinach isn't the only food wearing down your mobility from the inside. The next one on our list might surprise you because it's considered a healing food, yet it could be triggering inflammation with every bite. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Garlic, raw or in excess. Garlic has been praised for generations. It's often seen as a natural healer, lowering blood pressure, boosting immunity, and warding off illness. And for the most part, it can be. But when it comes to joint health, especially in seniors, too much garlic, particularly in its raw form, can quietly become a hidden source of pain and swelling in the legs. The issue lies in how garlic interacts with the body's immune and inflammatory systems. Garlic contains high levels of allicin and natural sulfur compounds. While beneficial in small cooked doses, in large or raw amounts, these compounds can overstimulate the immune response. In people over 60, whose immune systems are already more reactive and whose joints are more fragile, this can result in low grade inflammation, especially in the connective tissues surrounding the knees, ankles, and hips. You may not notice it right away. In fact, many seniors don't connect the dots. But that persistent puffiness around the ankles or that slight burning sensation in the knees after dinner. For some, it's their garlic heavy meals that are the quiet trigger. Raw garlic is also rich in histamines, which can cause soft tissue to swell, mimicking symptoms of arthritis or circulatory issues. This can make walking feel heavier, stairs more painful, and evenings more uncomfortable than they should be. Another concern is digestive inflammation. Garlic, when consumed in excess or on an empty stomach, can irritate the gut lining, leading to systemic inflammation. What starts in the stomach may travel to the joints. And because seniors are more vulnerable to inflammation related fluid retention, the result is often tired, swollen legs that feel harder to move. That doesn't mean you need to eliminate garlic entirely. Cooked garlic in moderate amounts remains safe and even helpful for most. But if you've been doubling up on raw garlic for health, and you're also feeling more stiffness or swelling in your lower body, it may be time to rethink how much you're using. And yet, garlic is mild compared to what comes next. The next vegetable is praised for its vibrant color and crunch, but it may be overcharging your nervous system and leaving your knees more inflamed with every bite. 5. Bell peppers, especially red and yellow. Bell peppers are beautiful. Their bright reds, yellows, and oranges add color and crunch to meals. Many seniors believe they're doing something good for their health when they load up their salads or stir fries with them. After all, bell peppers are rich in vitamin C and antioxidants. But there's a side of these colorful vegetables that doesn't get talked about, one that could be contributing to ongoing joint discomfort, swelling in the legs, and increased stiffness as you age. Bell peppers, like tomatoes and eggplants, belong to the nightshade family. This group of vegetables contains alkaloids, including solanine and capsaicin, which can be irritating to the body, especially in those with joint sensitivity or autoimmune conditions. Capsaicin, in particular, is known to stimulate nerve endings and increase blood flow, which sounds good in theory, but for seniors with weakened or inflamed joints, this stimulation can exacerbate pain and swelling rather than relieve it. What makes bell peppers especially tricky is how subtle the damage can be. You might enjoy a fresh pepper in your lunch wrap and feel fine at first, but repeated exposure, especially when eaten raw or in large amounts, can lead to low-level inflammation building up in your knees and ankles. That creeping feeling of heaviness in your legs by the afternoon, or that achy stiffness when you try to stand up from the couch, may not be aging. It might be coming from the very foods you thought were protecting you. There's also the issue of fluid retention. For some older adults, bell peppers can lead to increased vascular permeability, meaning the small blood vessels leak fluid into nearby tissues. The result? Swollen feet, tight calves, and that sagging feeling in your lower body, especially by the end of the day. Over time, this low grade swelling can make it harder to stay active, maintain balance, or even sleep comfortably. So while bell peppers may look harmless, they could be slowly fueling the very inflammation that's wearing down your joints and draining your mobility. If you've been eating them regularly and notice joint discomfort, try cutting them out for 2 weeks and see what happens. But if you think bell peppers are bad, wait until you learn about the leafy supergreen that could be quietly interfering with your hormones and weakening your legs from the inside out. 6. Kale, especially raw. Kale has become a symbol of healthy living. It's on every superfood list, blended into smoothies, tossed into salads, and praised by doctors and dietitians alike. But for older adults, especially those already dealing with sluggish legs, stiff knees, or unexplained swelling, raw kale might be doing more harm than good. It's a painful irony that something so healthy on paper can quietly work against the very system seniors rely on to stay active and mobile. The trouble begins with how kale interacts with aging digestion and hormones. Raw kale is high in goitrogens, compounds that can interfere with thyroid function, especially in people who are iodine deficient, which many older adults unknowingly are. A slowed thyroid means slowed metabolism, reduced circulation, and increased water retention, all of which contribute to that heavy, bloated sensation many seniors feel in their legs by late afternoon. But kale doesn't stop there. It's also high in insoluble fiber and oxalates, which are tough for aging digestive systems to process. This can lead to bloating, cramping, and inflammation that begins in the gut and travels outward, affecting your joints, your muscles, and even your ability to absorb key minerals like calcium and magnesium. Without those nutrients, your bones weaken, your muscles fatigue faster, and your joints lose the structural support they need to stay mobile. What's most dangerous is that kale's side effects often appear slowly. Seniors may simply feel tired in the legs or notice their knees getting stiffer over time, never realizing that their daily green smoothie or raw kale salad might be to blame. The swelling isn't always dramatic, but it lingers. It becomes part of life, and slowly, mobility is lost. You don't need to avoid kale forever, but it's wise to lightly cook it, rotate it with softer greens like Swiss chard or romaine, and listen closely to how your body responds. When mobility is on the line, every choice matters. And if you thought leafy greens were a surprise, the final vegetable on our list is hiding in plain sight. Sweet, familiar, and in almost every pantry across America. Yet for aging joints, it may be one of the most inflammatory foods of all. 7. Corn and corn-based products. Corn is woven into the fabric of American life. It's in our cornbread, our casseroles, our chips, and even hidden in our sauces. To most seniors, it feels like a harmless, even comforting staple, something we've eaten our whole lives without question. But here's the truth. Corn, especially in its processed forms, can quietly sabotage joint health, and for many aging adults, it may be a hidden driver of leg swelling, stiffness, and fatigue. Corn is a high glycemic starch, which means it quickly raises blood sugar levels. When blood sugar spikes, the body responds by producing more insulin and inflammatory cytokines, two powerful agents that can cause fluid buildup and inflammation in soft tissues. Over time, this can create a bloated, heavy sensation in the legs, as well as swelling around the knees and ankles that feels worse at the end of the day. But the impact of corn goes deeper than inflammation alone. Most corn consumed today, especially in chips, cereals, and baked goods, is genetically modified and stripped of nutrients, offering little benefit and plenty of strain on your system. It lacks the fiber and micronutrients that aging bodies need, and instead feeds a cycle of chronic low-grade inflammation. This kind of inflammation is subtle but destructive. It quietly eats away at joint linings, makes tendons stiff, and creates the feeling that your legs just don't move the way they used to. And for seniors already battling reduced mobility or joint pain, corn-based products, especially those made with corn syrup, cornmeal, or corn oil, can accelerate joint degeneration without ever being noticed. You're not just eating corn, you're eating a system that keeps your body in a constant state of mild alert. That low-level inflammation never gets the chance to shut off. If you felt more puffiness in your feet, or if your legs feel tired after eating snacks like tortilla chips or cornbread, your body might be signaling you to pay closer attention. So now you're probably asking, if so many common vegetables are quietly harming my joints, what can I eat instead to feel strong, stable, and pain-free again? Well, that's where the good news begins, because there are real healing foods that can help rebuild from the inside out. Let's take a look. 8. What should you do instead? After hearing that so many familiar vegetables might be contributing to joint pain and leg swelling, it's natural to feel overwhelmed, even frustrated. These are foods you were told were healthy. But the truth is, as we age, our bodies change. And what once served us well in our 40s or 50s may no longer support us in our 60s, 70s, or beyond. The key is not to fear food, but to choose the right ones, those that heal instead of harm. Instead of nightshades like tomatoes, eggplant, or bell peppers, focus on anti-inflammatory vegetables such as cooked carrots, sweet potatoes, and steamed zucchini. These are gentler on the gut, support collagen production, and do not irritate the immune system. Replace raw kale with soft greens like bok choy or sautéed Swiss chard, which provide nutrients without interfering with your thyroid or mineral absorption. If you've relied on corn-based snacks, try whole grains like quinoa, millet, or oats, which stabilize blood sugar and reduce inflammatory responses in joints. And instead of garlic-heavy dishes, consider seasoning your meals with turmeric, ginger, or rosemary, herbs with proven anti-inflammatory effects that support circulation and ease joint tension. But perhaps the most important shift is to start including foods that actively rebuild your joints. Bone broth, for instance, is a powerful source of collagen and joint supporting minerals that your body can absorb easily. Sardines with the bones, slow cooked beef tendons, and even chicken skin, when prepared properly, can help restore the natural cushion in your knees, ankles, and hips. These are the foods that don't just reduce pain, they rebuild the structure beneath it. And finally, listen to your body. Keep a food journal. Pay attention to how your legs feel after certain meals. Healing doesn't begin in the pharmacy, it begins at your dinner table. Now, if you're wondering how to bring all this together into something simple and sustainable, don't worry. The last part of this guide reveals exactly how you can turn this knowledge into a daily routine, a step-by-step path back to stronger joints, lighter legs, and more confident movement. Ready to feel like yourself again? Let's wrap this up. The hidden power of knowing what to let go. As we grow older, we are often told to add more calcium, more vitamins, more greens. But sometimes the most powerful form of healing comes not from what we add, but from what we remove. The truth is, even the healthiest intentions can backfire when our bodies begin to change with age. Foods that once gave us strength can slowly, quietly become the very things that steal our comfort, mobility, and ease of living. The vegetables we've explored in this guide, from tomatoes to corn, are not inherently evil. They are not poison. But for many seniors, especially those dealing with joint stiffness, leg swelling, or chronic discomfort, they may no longer be the right fit. Inflammation is tricky. It doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. It shows up as a tightness behind the knees, a pressure in the ankles, a fatigue that sets in just from standing. Listening to your body isn't just smart, it's essential. Your legs are more than limbs. They're your link to freedom, to independence, to joy. Protecting them means being willing to rethink habits, even the ones that feel familiar or comforting. But here's the good news. Once you remove what no longer serves your joints, you create space for renewal. You give your body the clarity to respond, the relief to rebuild. And when you pair that with the right foods and the ones that nourish, cushion, and restore, You open the door to feeling light again, steady again, yourself again. So the question isn't only, what should I eat? It's also, what should I stop eating so I can finally move forward? And now that you know, you can begin. One meal at a time, one step at a time, towards stronger legs, steadier joints, and a life that feels better than it has in years. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.